Welcome, fourth graders. Today on Unit 11, Lesson 2, we'll be exploring more decimal numbers. Now, here you can see that we have some fraction bars shown using both fractions and decimals, because remember, fractions and decimals are equivalent. They're both parts of one whole or parts of, say, $1, if we're talking about decimals especially. So we have some number lines and fraction bars with both fractions and decimals. So the first thing we're going to do is finish these chains so that we can see what it looks like at the end. So on this first fraction bar, they're adding 1/10 as a fraction plus 1/10 as a decimal. This is 1/10, which is equivalent. So the next one in line, I can see they still need another fraction, 1/10. Now, if we added all of these up, as you can see they're doing on the number line, 1/10, if I add another tenth, so another dime, would turn into 2/10, and then 3/10, 4/10, and it continues getting closer to one whole. So that would be adding 5/10, then 6/10. Again, we're adding tenths each time as we go up here. So as we're adding 1/10, we're moving closer to one whole. So now we have 7/10. When I add another tenth, then I get to 8/10. When I add another tenth, even though it's written as a fraction, they are equivalent. So 1/10 plus 1/10, finally getting me to one whole, which they represented as a decimal, 1.0. That is equal to just 1 standing by itself. Now remember that tenths and hundredths are closely related here. This could be written as 10 pennies out of 100 pennies. In this case, it's 10 bars, little guys, out of 100 total, represented in this fraction strip. So as we got halfway here, we saw that that was 5/10, or 1/2. Represented in hundredths, that would be 50 hundredths, or 1/2. You can see it continues to go up by groups of 10, so 60 hundredths. Again, you can see with the fractions here, we're getting closer to one whole each time. Then we have 80 hundredths, also equivalent to 8/10. Then 90 hundredths, which is equivalent to 9/10. That's what it would simplify to. And then 100 over 100 is equivalent to one whole. Now, using this number line in tenths, which is still equivalent to 1/10 here, this is 10 hundredths. We're going to continue going up, so the next number to come in line would be 50, and it's written more where it looks like 50 cents. Then going up another 10 would be 60 cents, 70, 80, and then finally 90 cents. So this last little tick mark before the $1 or one whole, so 1, even though there's 2 zeros following the decimal, that's still just one whole as a number. Now, right before that would be the decimal 99 hundredths. Now comes the fun part, where we actually get to practice writing decimal numbers. The fun part is that I get to teach you a really cool trick that I learned as a kid and I still remember to this day, and it still helps me with decimals. So that's why I think it will be worth showing you. So let's say we have a number that looks like this. So 0.24, yeah, we'll just start at that since we're just doing tenths and hundredths for now. This trick does work for the next decimal place value, thousandths, but I'll show you later when we get to it. So this number, a lot of kids would just read this as 0.24. Now, technically that's not the correct way to read this decimal. This decimal is actually read as 24 hundredths. Now, how do you know that it ends in the hundredths place? Well, that's where my trick comes in handy. Now, I tell all of my students just what my teacher told me when I was a kid. When you're trying to figure out which number is in which place value when it comes to decimals, you start by putting the 1 right underneath in line with the decimal point. Now, the reason we do that is there really is no ones place in the decimal part. We only have the ones place here when we get to our whole numbers. But the first place value in decimals is tenths. which we can see here with this handy dandy trick. By placing the 1 under the decimal and putting a 0 under the 2, we can see that this is 2/10. Amazing! Then, if I wanted to figure out which place value the 4 fell into, I put another 0 under the 4, and now I can see that this is 4/100. Put together, I have 24/100 in all. Awesome. So let's try this trick. 8/10. In order to solve this one quickly, what I recommend you do is create the 10 that you know you'll need. Remember, the 1 lines up with the decimal. So I have my tenths ready to go. And I know that it's 8/10. So that would look like 0.8. Now when I read this decimal, let's make sure my trick worked. 8/10. Beautiful. No whole number, so I can put a 0 out front. And then the decimal point and the 8. So that is the decimal 8/10. The next one, 6/100. So it's hundredths. So in order to get ready for this one, I'll write the number 100. Decimal point needs to go in line with the 1. Now, hold on, it said hundredths, not tenths. So that means the 6 would have to be out here above the second 0 to make 6/100. But then that leaves this gap open here. And I know if I put the 6 here, then that would be 6/10, which is close to what we saw for 8/10. So that can't be right. So what do we do when there's a big gap there? You put a 0. I bet a lot of you were like, oh, I know what to do. So this decimal then reads 6/100. There weren't any tenths, so it makes sense that we put a 0 there. So you would write that as no whole number, so 0 up front, then the decimal point, and then 0, 6 to make 6/100. The next one is 35/100. So first let's write our hundredths. Put the decimal point right in line with the 1. Okay, and then it's the number 35. Now let's make sure that that reads correctly. 35/100. It lines up perfectly. So we would write that as 0 decimal point 35. Beautiful. For the next one, 92/100. Once again, let's get our 100 ready to create this number. Decimal point goes right above the 1, and then we fill in the numbers. 92. Now it reads perfectly, 92/100. No whole number. We're not quite yet up to a whole dollar. We're close. We have 92 cents or 92/100. The next one, the fraction 2/10. So you can see here that these fractions, we're showing the equivalent decimals. So 2/10 would look like, so let's get our 10 ready. Decimal right above the 1, and then 2. Now it reads 2/10. No whole number here, so we put a 0 out front, decimal point 2, just like we saw. And these are equal. That fraction and decimal are equal to each other, or equivalent. All right, next one. They're going to try and get tricky with us again. 9/100. So let's get our 100 ready. Decimal point right above in line with the 1. Now, again, for this to read 9/100, that would mean the 9 would need to be above this second 0 because it's hundredths. So that leaves open a gap, no tenths, so we put a 0 there. So we would write this decimal as 0.09 for 9/100. All right, now we're going to get some information, and then we'll have to create some decimals to show the answer. It says, in the little town of Silver, there are 100 people. 4 are left-handed. What decimal number shows the fraction of the people who are left-handed? Okay, so there are 4 left-handed out of 100 total. So that is the fraction 4 out of 100. The decimal that would be equivalent to that would have to be 4/100. So in order to do that, I'm going to get it ready. Remember that the 100 would need to be put down since we're dealing with hundredths. decimal point lines up with the 1. In order for the 4 to be in the hundredths place, it needs to be out here, opening a gap, which is where we'd put a 0 for it to end in 4 hundredths. So the decimal number that they wanted for number 10 here would look like this. 4 hundredths of the people are left-handed. Then it asks, what decimal number shows the fraction of the people who are right-handed? So if 4 out of 100 are left-handed, that means the rest of the people are right-handed. So think, what plus 4 gets me to 100? That what number? So that x plus 4 equals 100. These are the right-handed people. Well, I know that that number would need to be 96. The fraction that would show that would be 96 hundredths. So 96 out of 100 people are right-handed. In order to create that equivalent decimal, I would first get my 100 ready. It's almost like I'm creating a fraction without really making one. And then I fill in the numbers, 96. Now that reads 96 hundredths. So the decimal number that would show the right-handed people would be 0.96. or 96 hundredths. Now, to show you that fractions and decimals are really easy to think about when dealing with money, I want to show you the decimal part of a dollar that a penny, nickel, dime, and quarter are. So remember that a penny is 1/100th, just one little guy out of 100 that equals $1. To show this as a decimal, remember we would get our 100 ready, put the decimal point above that 1, and you would have to have the 1 way over above the second 0, which leaves a gap open. So 1 penny looks like 0.01, 1/100th of a dollar. A nickel, however, is equal to 5 cents out of 100, and that would look a little bit differently. So in order to show that one, you would have a 5. Oops, I don't need 2 decimal points. Here we go. A 5 way out above the second 0, leaving a gap open. So that would look like 5 cents or 5 hundredths of a dollar. Remember that a dime is 10 cents or 10 equivalent to 10 pennies out of 100. So in order to show that, you could put the 100 and then the decimal point. Now I fill in the numbers 10. So that looks like 10 cents. That's what we would see on a price tag. So you're probably noticing that these are what we would see on a price tag for, say, a toy or an item of some kind. A quarter is equal to 25 cents out of 100, which if we created the decimal for that, we'd fill in the numbers up above, and now it reads 25 hundredths, which would look like 0.25. All right, fourth graders, for your ticket today, you have a problem, a situation here, dealing with Bentley. It says Bentley hid 10 bones last week. He hid 4 of them upstairs, and the rest are hidden downstairs. He does like to hide his bones. So first, what decimal number shows the number of bones hidden upstairs, and what decimal number shows the number of bones hidden downstairs? I recommend that you make a fraction first, and then change it into its equal decimal. And then you'll be able to nail it.